Hello, it's Amanda with Music Game Club, and today I am going to teach you how to play our game, Chords. First off, I will tell you what you get in the game download. So here you see our game board. You will also get the instruction sheet, which this tutorial video kind of walks you through that. You also get a success poster that says, I've created my chords in one, so you could celebrate with your students afterward. There are 8 adorable crow game pieces that you can place at the start, and then you're gonna play around until you finish. We have 50 level 1 cards, which have wilds and the letters to make up chords C major, F major, and G major. And 58 level 2 cards, which create pretty much any chord you want. It has all of the letters in the music alphabet, as well as flats, sharps, 1 double flat and 1 double sharp, and of course some wilds to throw the game for fun. If you are a Music Game Club member, then you will also get bonus poster-sized game boards. So our poster size is 18 by 24 inches. We also have A3 for international printers. You will also, as a member, get our activity sheet. The level 1 activity sheet, the student just has to fill in for C major, F major, and G major. And for level 2, it's completely blank, so you can create your own, if you want them to do E major cadences or major, minor, diminished, augmented, just random chords, however you want to do it, you can customize your activity sheet. Also, as a member, you will get 4 bonus tutorial videos with a bunch of different gameplay ideas that you can use with Chords, either the cards and or the game board, so you get the most out of your game. Now, let's learn how to play Chords. We are going to start with level 1 chords. Now, you can play levels 1 and level 2 together, but for now, as I'm explaining this game, I'll do just level 1. So you're going to shuffle your cards, put them in the draw stack. Each player gets to choose a crow game piece and place it on the start line. We're going to play with 2 players. You're going to deal each player 3 cards. Now, the student will have their cards in their hand like this. However, to make it easier for you to see, I'm going to put the cards right here. So each player gets 3 cards, and then you're also going to lay 1 card down on the discard pile. For every turn, a student gets to draw a card either from the draw pile or the top of the discard. If they can create a chord, then they can discard their chord. So we're going to start, this is player 1. They have C, it could either be C, E, G, or F, A, C, so we don't need the D. So we're going to pick 1 card, and apparently I did not shuffle these well because they're all C's. All right, they cannot play anything, so they have to discard 1 card. Next player goes, and they could do C, E, G probably, so they're going to pick a card. All right, they picked an F. They can't use that, but they would rather have an F than a C, so we're going to discard a C. Player 1 draws again. Okay, perfect. Now they can create a chord. So they must lay it down in order of root, 3rd, 5th. So C, E, G, that creates a C major chord. So they lay it down like that, and they get to move forward 1. Then they're going to pick enough cards to fill back up to have 3 cards in their hand. Player 2 gets to go. I will say once a wild is used, it can't be reused. You can decide that rule on your own. So they draw a card. They also get a C major card. Root, 3rd, 5th. They discard, move forward, and fill up their hand to 3 cards again. Player 1 goes again. They do not need the G, so they will pick a card. And we'll just discard that G. Player 2 does not need a G, so they will pick a card. And let's see. Here they have either FA for your F chord. E, if you had a C chord, C, E, G could create a chord, so they just have to make a decision which one they're going to go for. So let's just say they need a C either way. I'm going to discard the E. Okay, now that's convenient for player 1. They need an E to create a C major chord. So C, E, G, once again. discard, move forward, fill up their hand. Next player picks a card. They get a C. There they have your F major chord. So F, A, C, discard, move forward, replenish their hand. And I think you get the idea of this by now. So they keep going until the first player reaches the finish line, and then the game is over. You can also strengthen your students' chord knowledge by having them play the chord on the instrument when they move forward, so that way they not only see what the letters are, but they hear what it sounds like. Level 2 can be pretty much anything you want it to be. So I would personally do this with my students. Well, it would depend on my student. So let's say my student knows 5 chords. I teach them in the order of the circle of fifths. So usually that would be C major, G major, D major, A major, and E major. So then I would challenge them, all right, you have to build one of those major chords. The difference between level 1 and level 2 is that students get 5 cards in level 2 because they have separate sharp and flat cards. Unless I'm doing it with students who only know a few chords, if they know even just a few chords, I would be like, you have to have an accidental. So I'm going to play as if that's the rule. You can customize this however you want it to be. If you're teaching your students minor chords, then the rule is you have to create minor chords. If you're teaching your students diminished chords or even 7th chords, like you can give them, if you're doing 7th chords, you can maybe do 6 cards and they have to create a 7th chord every single time. So it's very customizable. You can decide what works for all your students. So I'm going to do it with the rule, you must have an accidental. Okay, so player 1 is gonna pick up the wild, and we're gonna do a D major chord. So D, we're gonna say this is F and a sharp, and then A, and they get to move forward. Then you're gonna replenish their stack back to 5 cards. Player 2 has a bunch of G's, and they've got to have another card before they could do anything with it. So they're gonna pick a card. G, all right, G, B, D, but we need to have an accidental. So we're gonna do G, B flat, D to create a G minor chord, and then they get to move forward. Replenish their cards. Player 1 gets to go again. So let's say they're looking at G, B, D, but they have to use an accidental. Now this depends on their chord knowledge. You can do G, B, D sharp, that's an augmented chord. But let's say they don't know augmented. So they're gonna draw another card. All right, we're going off the knowledge base that they don't know augmented. So their options here, they could do E, G sharp, B for an E major chord. So they get to move forward, replenish their cards, and it's the next player's turn. The gameplay just continues like that. They're building chords, they're moving forward, first player to the end gets to win, and I think that's the general idea. Level 2 has so many options that you could do. I'm so excited about this. Level 1, like I said, only C major, F major, and G major, but level 2, literally anything your students are learning, they can apply with this game. We hope you and your students had a blast learning chords with Chords. Feel free to tag us at Music Game Club on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. When you play the game, if you celebrate with your student, be sure to use the success poster here, and y'all have fun.